Hello and welcome to another League of Legends commentary. So we're just going to speed up this replay so we can watch it at 2x speed. I'm going to start off with traditional start of Hunter's Machete and 5 health pots. There are a couple other starts that you can do. You can try out starting Boots or Cloth Armor or Dagger. Those are all possible starts. And this is my normal route that I like to do. I like to start on Wolves and then do Blue. It really helps if you can do the Smiteless because it'll decrease the time that you spend on the jungle and therefore increase the time that you can spend ganking. The mistake here I make is I don't chug a health pot right away, and you definitely need to do that. And differently than what I normally do, this game I'm trying for an early gank level 2, and I take a tower hit, so you gotta really be careful about tower hits early game because they do a lot of damage and you definitely don't want to do that. This ward was really strong. They had warded it early and it let me get the first blood off Maokai. So really consider warding this. It's a very, very good spot to ward for your support to ward that. It lets you counter jungle. And it's especially strong against someone like Maokai because he doesn't have a very quick clear, so you can do stuff and then try to counter gank him. And you saw that the reason I had tried to gank top early was I wanted to steal red. So if that's what you're considering doing, and if this is warded, then that's a really good idea. Try to do a level 2 gank on top, and then kill them at their red. Alright, so just clearing out this jungle. I asked if bottom has warded this lane, so that's always a good thing to do. Always try to ask bottom if they have warded. Now, it's hard to gank EZ here, so Soraka is actually probably a better choice, and I go right ahead and go on him as soon as I zone out EZ. If Soraka was basically dead, so that's why I chose my targets like that. And I'll slow it down next fight so you guys have a better idea of what's going on. Continuing to clear out my jungle, and now I'm asking Zyra for a gank. Well, I'm going to come in and help him out and try to gank for him. So this is good, and Evia's pushed up pretty far, and I make sure I ping, and unfortunately he misses his root, but he flashes, so it was definitely worth the gank. And I definitely need to come back around again to take advantage of the fact that his flash is down. Alright, so back to speeding up. And here I'm coming back around. Again, I'm telling Zyra that I'm going in, and Zyra, I think, misses her... no, she hits her root, so that's really good. And I'm aware that I'm going to take some tower hits, but it's worth it to secure the kill. I just have to make sure I time it right so I don't die to tower. And it was an easy gank. You know, you saw before I went around, burned his flash, and then came back around again to kill him. So that's just something you should do. You should, once you get rid of their summoners, try ganking that lane again. And, you know, it's really good to gank lanes that are weak. Alternatively, the jungle can help lanes that are behind get back in the game. Now, bottom lane is definitely having a lot of problems. You can see that Graves is behind in CS, and EZ is just going to keep pooping on them in this lane. They do need to keep, if Graves can get high, then that can be good. And I'm trying to sneak in here, and I just barely managed to sneak in here. If I came around this way, I didn't know if it was warded or not, so it probably wouldn't have gotten a kill. But as you saw, I snuck in through here and got the kill off on Soraka as she was trying to ward. Alright, so let's continue speeding up the game. Now I'm coming back around again. If this had been warded, and I warded that there, it's like pretty likely that I could have gotten a kill if my team had responded correctly, so that was worth it. I got a lot of damage on EZ, you had to go back, and now they're gonna play scared bot lane. So, you know, ganking isn't always just about securing kills, it's also about making the enemy lane fear you and have to buy wards like Nivea is doing now. And I'm probably gonna try to clear this out, and then after I get blue, and then try to gank Nivea again, because as you see, top lane has been pushed, so it's going to be a little difficult to gank Ribbon. Okay, so I come down bot. They get an easy kill on Soraka. They're making mistakes by focusing Soraka. I think they definitely should focus easy, because it's much more important to get the AD carry out of the lane than it is to get the support out of the lane. And another thing that's really useful to do is to ward this before 720, so that lets you potentially steal their blue and keep a good eye on the jungler. Now, because I got Wriggles pretty early in the game, I can do a lot of damage to... Sorry, I got Wriggles Lantern really early because I got an early kill. I can do Dragon early, and that's something you should definitely take advantage of if you are able to kill their mid lane or their bottom lane, you should definitely try to get early dragons if you start with a Madrid's or Wriggle's Lantern. Just really lets your team snowball. Another thing to try to do more often is make sure you secure the blue and red buffs. There are two reasons for this. One is it gives you a lot of golden XP, and secondly, it gives, if you don't secure it, the enemy jungler, if he's smart, can counter jungle you and take it from you. As far as lanes that need to be ganked, this would have been a good time to have ganked top, but again, I was a little low and I was trying to secure my red buff. I could have, if I had gone right away, I might have been able to get a gank off, and I also should definitely go right away to try to prevent this tower from getting killed. So that's what I'm probably going to do. It's better to secure the tower first and then go for blue buff than the other way around. So that's what I should have done instead of helping Zyro right away with the blue buff. Unfortunately, I think either my red buff or bladed armor stole it from her, and I hadn't been attacking, so that was sort of her fault. She should have just timed it better. Like, there's obviously you don't want to auto attack too much, but at some point it becomes the mid laner's fault if they don't time their autos right. And I'm just making sure I get all the CS, and I should push it in as soon as I clear out all these minions. The next wave I should definitely push in. Unfortunately, I miss a cannon creep. You really do not want to miss cannon creeps, and so I just push it in, deny some gold for them, and I should ward here and here. And Riven gets caught out, so we just focus her down really quick, and I just make sure we also get a second kill on Malphite, and unfortunately we can't get the kill on Anivia, but that's okay. If our team had done it a little bit better, we definitely would have gotten the kill. I don't know why she dived the turret. There's just not necessary. Alright, so now I've got my Wriggle's Lantern and my Brutalizer. I've been trying different builds on Xin Zhao, and I'll show you guys some of the other builds that I've done, and I'll also show you guys some different junglers pretty soon. Because Xin Zhao's not the only guy I play, I like playing him a lot. He's pretty fun, I think. Unfortunately, he pink warded it, so that's really helpful. And this time I go ahead and go in on Soraka. One, because Graves is low, and two, I just don't think we're going to catch easy. Again, as I said before, it's much better to catch easy if possible. And the next thing I'm trying to do is push this tower in, so that's what I'm doing. I'm pushing it up. If we can get early towers, it's very strong. It's like getting a dragon, basically. And it gives your team a lot of advantages because you can start getting the other towers. Like bottom lane can now go mid lane to snowball that lane too. And Malphite was here, but that's okay. I just go ahead and go pretty hard on easy, and we easily get the kill on him. Unfortunately, Nivea comes in and turns that around. So I think either Zyra needed to push up when she saw that happening, and I should have told her to do that, said push mid, or I should have not have died so far. But it was okay. It's a 2-for-1, but we got the 80 carry, so that's pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to speed it up again. That's nice, they traded. So I'm going to push in mid now. And again, getting those turrets early is very strong. And they have the whole map warded. So I'm definitely being a much more active jungler than Maokai. And I messed up fighting there. I could have definitely killed him. So that was just a mistake. And I decided not to dive that because diving the second turret is really risky. So that was definitely the right play. And I'm going back. Luckily, Riven did not catch me in time. She definitely could have killed me. And that's unfortunate, though. I didn't get that kill. Alright, speeding up again. Continuing to jungle. As far as things that I can do, clear out this red and potentially secure dragon. So here, you can't just go straight to dragon if the other team is not, unless you're very far ahead. The reason for that is because if 5 of them come here, you're going to be tanking dragon, and it'll be basically a 6v5. So that's why you can't just straight up do dragons. You need to, get a gank somewhere. So like kill mid or something, or force them up here by pushing very heavily. So if we saw, for instance, Riven up here, then we could do dragon. But as it is now, we definitely can't do that. Another thing is, don't do what they're doing. That doesn't make any sense. Luckily, their whole team didn't come, so we're able to turn this around, and we should be able to get 1 or 2 kills here. And I'm just making sure I go pretty hard on Maokai because he got low. Unfortunately, our team got cut off, so it just turned out pretty poorly. And I'm just trying to make sure that Riven doesn't get away, and her plant kills him. So that turned out okay, reasonably well. And here I'm just trying to prevent them from doing dragon. That would be really bad. I don't think I could stop it though, so maybe the best bet would have been to go back. Although if they just try to do it with, like, Easy's the only one that's full health, so I think it would have been pretty difficult. So I don't know there. I think you could argue for either case to go back just right away or try to prevent making sure that they can't do dragon. As far as like what has the higher outcome, I would say the better outcome is probably if I went back, because then I can jungle and stuff. So, and I guess the third option would have been to do what I did, which was to not go back, but just sort of jungle around here and get some health back through my Wriggles Lantern. And I think that was probably the best choice. So again, those three choices: go back, try to hang around here, stopping them from doing dragon, or heal up with the aim of both getting health and going back. So I didn't really animation cancel, or block the right way there. So Anivia managed just to stun me, which is unfortunate. But we get our egg off, so that was definitely worth going pretty hard on her. And we see that Riven's there, and we know that Anivia egg is down, so they're a little bit weaker in the team fight. So I suggest that we try to do dragon here. And we also saw that Riven was not there. But when we see that Riven has gone away, I'm just getting a little bit nervous here. So luckily they overextend and don't play it quite right. So we can definitely turn this around. And as you see there, that's what we did. And as you saw there too, like the power of getting, I don't know, he cleansed Anivia ulti off early. So there you saw, again, why you don't want to do dragon, go too hard on dragon if the other team is coming. If we had tried really focused tunneled on dragon, we wouldn't have got it, and we would have gotten it. So you got to be flexible when you're going for the objective. Sometimes you need to focus them really hard, and sometimes you need to, sort of step around it and, force them to make mistakes and get overzealous when you're trying to do an objective. Alright, so I now have my, that's not me, I'm trying to get my Black Cleaver, I just got it, and this is not optimal item choice build, so just keep that in mind. I think there's some better builds that you can do depending on the situation. So that's another nice thing that's been added to the game, is that there are a lot more viable builds, and it lets you be more flexible based on like who your enemies are and how far ahead or behind you are in the game. So I really like some of the changes that they made to the item choices. That's pretty annoying when it resets like that. And unfortunately, they don't do my blue. They definitely should have tried to do my blue. I see this happening, but I decided to push mid instead because I didn't think I could get there in time to kill them. I thought they were just dead, so I got mid turret instead of trying to help them. And that's just something that you have to consider. Sometimes it's better to gank, and sometimes it's better to try to get mid turret. So the trick for playing against Maokai is when you see him using his twisted advance, sometimes you can flash back. Whereas in time, if you have fast enough reflexes, and they'll start tanking tower hits, so that's something you can consider. It's obviously, you should use your discretion, but it's a nice little trick that you can use to get him a lot farther into your team than he meant to be, and you can just focus him down and kill him. Continuing my jungle, we definitely need to secure these objectives, these towers, and get dragon. So that's what I'm looking to do. I want to set up for a gank and potentially bottom lane or mid lane, and then try to get dragon. A pink ward would be definitely very helpful. Alright, there I make a big mistake. I flash over this wall because they just keep killing these wards, and I was basically tilting at that point. I was just getting like kind of frustrated with the game and kind of bored. So I basically got our team aced there, and that was definitely all my play. So a lot of times people will say that like I didn't do anything wrong, and they'll forget that they did stuff like that and not realize that that they did something wrong and be like, why did the rest of my team get filled? And sure, my team could have done played better there, but strangely, like when you play well, your team starts playing better, and when you play poorly, your team starts making more mistakes. And that's just something that obviously you can't control your teammates, but you can really alter the flavor of the game and how well your team plays by making intelligent plays yourself. I don't really understand what the psychology is behind that, but it does seem to have a bit of truth to it. So again, the fact that I flashed over this wall to kill Soraka, that made no sense. But the fact that our team got aced, you could say that's not my fault because they ran in and got killed themselves. But it definitely was my fault. Like they wouldn't have gotten aced and wouldn't have made such a poor play if I hadn't done what I had done there. Alright, so we're just trying to get this turret. It's going to be really hard pushing in against Anivia, but as soon as we see Riven top, we go in hard because we know that we have an advantage, and you saw what happened there. We got a turret and 2 kills, and we should have just gone back right away after that, or what I was actually suggesting was that 3 or 4 try to push this in, and just 1 or 2 go back, and that's definitely what we should have done. We only need 1 or 2 to stop Riven. He's not going to try to push this in, and if we had done that, we could have gotten a turret on top of what we had already gotten. Basically, there, as you saw, we traded no kills on our part for 2 kills and their turret, which was great, and they got a turret as well. So that was just something that we could have just played a little bit better and gotten a bigger advantage out of that. Another thing you saw there was that I missed a CS, and again, late game it's not the biggest deal in the world to miss a CS because like the percentage of the gold it makes up is much smaller. For instance, let's say you have effectively 1,000 gold, getting a CS like 50 gold or something like that. That's like just give me a second. It's like 2% increase, whereas like much later when you have like 10,000 gold, it's like 0.02%. So it's like that's the difference in CS, like relatively, but that doesn't mean you should miss it since it's pretty easy to do. So make sure you get CS at the end of even at the late game, it's really important. And also controlling the lanes late game is really important. There I went a little bit hard, but not too hard because I was trying to bait something out. Unfortunately, our team like had bad positioning, so Graves got killed for free basically. Like he didn't need to do that, and here I'm just trying to prevent more people from dying, and I get killed myself. I probably shouldn't have gone back on that hard. I should have either like my targeting choices was definitely wrong there, and they can just take down this turret off of that. So that's what's going to happen, and they're going to get an inhibitor off of that. I think this game is definitely winnable at this point. You can see that they're ahead about 5k gold, but if you play better, you can make up that loss. So I think a lot of people give up too early and they just surrender, and they don't realize that people tend to get like pretty like cocky when as they get farther into the game and they get tired and they make more mistakes. So don't think that just because you're behind doesn't mean if you just calm down a little bit, you can't make good plays to get you back in the game. Alright, so I really wanted us to do Baron, and I think we could have definitely done it. As you can see, we had maybe 30 to 40 seconds, which would have been enough time to kill Baron or get him like low enough that they couldn't stop us. And this is something you can do. It's risky, but you have to do it. And it's like basically a desperate Baron play. It really helps if you have oracles, obviously. We could have I didn't realize that Tark had oracles. We should have been camping here and not separating. That's a mistake on Gray's part. And try to pick someone off when they try to ward Baron. So that's something that you can do to get yourself back in the game. And the reason that oracles is so strong around Baron is that they have to check, because if they don't check, you can just do it. This is a bad place for us to fight because of Anivia's ulti, and we should have gone in as soon as we saw her drop it. So that's another way you can fight against Anivia. It's really bad to fight in these tight corners like this, but if you see her like drop it out here, you can just go in on her. And another thing about Anivia is that if you stun her, her ulti stops. So that's something you should try to consider, silencing or stunning Anivia. This is a better place for us to fight. You see that you just want to avoid having your whole team get stuck in her ulti because it does crazy amounts of damage. So we're just heading back a little bit, and we shouldn't have gone back as far as we did. So this is sort of like a positioning dance that you need to do. When they are potentially can do Baron, you need to not go too far back to let them just get to Baron for free before you can get there. And basically I had to go in like really hard there, and we zoned out EZ, so we should have just grouped up as a team. He went too far out, and so he died for free basically. And we had a free kill on Riven, so that's what we should have done there. As you can see how powerful Anivia is. If you don't stop her, this does crazy amounts of damage. So that was definitely a winnable team fight, but we just did not execute it the right way. So unfortunately, we lost over that. They're just going to push in and take the win. A lot of times people will try to get other turrets or something like that, but you should definitely try. See, this is wrong. You should just definitely try to get the win when you can. So this is a mistake that a lot of people make, that they try to make, but luckily for them, their team realizes and tells you not to do that. So yeah, if you can get the win, you'd be surprised how quickly it happens when all of your team focuses the right thing. So again, our team play was okay. We made a couple mistakes there. Again, you're seeing how fast this is going to go down. And it was unfortunate, but sometimes you just have games like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. I will post another one today. And please remember to subscribe, like, and comment. All your feedback really helps me, and I try to use that feedback to make a better video.